Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria, where we show and tell you what's happening across the 36 states of the Federation as we crisscross the 6 geopolitical zones. I am Olumide Macaulay. Thank you for joining us. It's less than 24 hours to the Kogi State governorship elections, and the Nigerian police is assuring residents of the state, and indeed Nigerians as a whole, that it's not toying with the task of ensuring that the state is adequately secure. There's a heavy presence of police in Lokoja, the state capital, with the deployment of 4,969 personnel of the police mobile force. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Department of Operations, Mr. Sotoye Wakama, speaks more of the security arrangements in an exclusive interview with Channels Television.
Members of the Nigeria Police Force are gearing up for the task ahead. They have a duty to ensure that the elections are free and fair, and the man whose responsibility it is to ensure that the polls are violence-free says that adequate preparations have been made.
There are certain areas where there's a greater risk of volatility than others. So in those areas, we categorize them like traffic lights, red, yellow, and green. In those areas where we believe that there's a likelihood of volatility, of course, we will deploy a bit more personnel. And in other areas, there may not be as many as, in the risk areas. Our equestrian unit is going to be deployed. Our K9 unit is going to be deployed. Alongside our sister services, the civil defense, etc., they are bringing theirs. We are deploying helicopters for purposes of aerial surveillance of these elections.
There are indeed reasons to be sure that violence do not mar the polls. Some of the monitors here say that they have it on good authority that small arms are being ferried about in some parts of the state, but that they've been assured by security operatives that this will be taken care of.
Our long-term observers reported about movement of some light arms, which we promptly informed the security. We also addressed press conference on that. We issued statement. Then the security authority has also said that they'll be doing something in that regard. And as at yesterday, they confirmed to us that their men are fully on ground and that we shouldn't entertain any fear. So we take them by their words.
With assurances of security in the bag, next is that of logistics and the general conduct of the polls. In comes INEC, which assures that there will be a smooth poll.
We have already received the sensitive materials and have sent same to all the 21 local government areas of Kogi State. In the same vein, our smart car readers have since been configured and fully charged to ensure that they perform better, this time around.
We've been given assurances by the Commission that the permanent voters' cards would be used for this election, that the card reader machines are working and ready to go, and that people who do not have the PVCs and whose cards are not readable by the card reader machine will not be in a position to vote. We think that it's an important process that you do have this piece of technology in place to eliminate as much as possible the human element that brings about manipulation of votes, and we do hope that INEC is ready to carry out this exercise. It is particularly important for INEC, it is particularly important for Nigeria to gauge how far we have come since the general elections. We did have shortcomings with the general elections, which we all accept was really a huge improvement on the electoral process. Our hope is that INEC, it doesn't just match with the gains of the general election, but actually surpasses that, because this is a standalone election like you've mentioned.
The Election Situation Room, however, believes that some valuable lessons can be gleaned from the 2015 general elections. The projection by optimistic Nigerians is that all of these assurances will come to pass, while fears raised will be consigned to the bin as the people of Kogi State vote for their next governor.
And a little later in the program, we'll be speaking to our correspondent who is in Kogi State live covering the polls, Lanre Lasisi. In the meantime, we go to the oil and gas sector. The Department of Petroleum Resources has directed corn oil depot at the Naval Dockyard to increase their daily truck output to a minimum of 80 trucks in order to boost national supply. The order is coming on the heels of a monitoring exercise conducted by the agency in Lagos, where they discovered that corn oil had up to 25 million liters of PMS but were not dispensing. Other will-be offenders have been warned of dire consequences if they choose to hoard the petroleum product.
The Yuletide is around the corner, and this is one scenario many would not want to see during festivities. Sadly, as it stands, the situation is not abating. There's been several assurances and directives coming from government quarters, but that has not effectively translated to improved supply. However, following a recent pronouncement by the Minister of State for Petroleum, Dr. Ibekachukwu, on consequences for hoarding products, some stations have been punished for defaulting that order. This station had 2,700 liters of PMS but opted to hoard it. So when the Department of Petroleum Resources people came around, it dispensed all of the products to the public free of charge.
Selling free at the moment now. Who do I call now?
Well, if they are hoarding the fuel, they shouldn't be doing that, to be sincere. They should keep their door open for people to come in and buy fuel.
So now that they did, you bought free?
Yes, I bought free. I got it free.
I was actually hunting for fuel, coming from VI, and I saw DPR people. I thought, okay, I guess they want to sell. So I was actually bringing out my wallet, and they told me, no, you are not buying. Put your wallet back in. That this is for free, and I filled my tank. So I guess this is a major warning to all those who are hoarding fuel and causing artificial scarcity that there is a new sheriff in town.
From what you have seen so far, they have product in this depot. It's just deliberate, they don't want to push out. So we are saying that they should push out all they have so they can now circulate and make wet both of the stations. Because I mean, if it would be unfair for us to know that they have product in this facility, and for which I don't know the reasons, I don't know what the reasons are anyway. They refuse to push out to the public.
The exercise to checkmate infractions will continue. Meanwhile, the hope for improved supply really hangs on the dispensing date for the 413 billion naira payable to marketers. Until then, all the solutions may have to kick in, and quickly so. Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.
And petrol isn't the only commodity in short supply. Water is also pretty scarce in Lagos, southwest Nigeria. Stay with us when we come back.